how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Real for Real. So, if you guys are kind of used to our format, you've been watching our videos, you'll know that what we usually do is we talk about the positives and we talk about the negatives, and then we basically give the film a review at the end, right? We give it a score. So, we're going to be doing the same thing, but today we're going to be talking about two films this time. We're going to be talking about A Quiet Place 2, and we're going to be talking about Cruella. So, Isaiah, let's get into A Quiet Place 2 first. You good with that?
Yeah, no, that works for me. That works for me.
Okay, cool. So A Quiet Place 2 is directed by John Krasinski. The cinematographer for this movie is Polly Morgan. And so this movie is starring Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, and of course, John Krasinski. So, man, let's get into this movie, bro. What did you think about it?
So I will say, like, as somebody who had not seen the first one, and I respect John a lot. I mean, you're a big fan of his from The Office. But to be honest, like just the premise of the movie of the first one didn't speak to me well, and people have tried to get me to see it. I just never got around to it. So I had to come in this kind of blind, not knowing anything about the first one. But I had to say it was super entertaining for me. Super entertaining to me. Love the way they play with sound a little bit in it. Like it was a good movie, really, really good movie. So for me, my initial take was that. Now, like I said, I got to go back and now watch the other one. I want to know more about, what got us to where we are now. But it was a good film, like really good film.
Yeah, bro, you got to watch the first one, man. You got to watch the first one.
I know.
But this is a really good sequel, though, man. The first one's good. This one's really good. You know, it's interesting because we were forced to go see the movie in theaters again, right?
Right.
So it's funny, like we're just in a different time period, man. It's actually kind of sad because in the beginning, like before the movie starts, you have John Krasinski thanking everyone for coming to the movie and supporting. And it really shows you what time period we're in, man. So they're putting snippets of people thanking you for coming to the theaters and supporting this. Go to the theaters and go see this movie. Go support your films.
I gotta go ahead and say, I got to go ahead and say on top of that, though, shout out to the crowd that I went and saw it with. Like, I didn't see it till like 10:20 in the evening, and the theater was packed out. So,
oh, man, shout out to them, bro.
Yeah, so
yes, sir.
Thank you to the crowd that I was seeing it with who came out, and we actually went and enjoyed the movie the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. Like,
I had a nice crowd too, man. So that was good to see. Yeah. Really good to see. But man, let's talk about John Krasinski for a minute because he was the director for the first one as well, but he kind of had help with it. But this time for the sequel, he was all by himself on this, and I actually like the direction of this movie better than the second one. I liked the way it looked visually. It was like better looking, I think. Yeah. And the cinematographer Polly Morgan, man, she did a really good job of replacing Charlotte Bruce Christensen. From the first one, because I guess Charlotte, she did the first cinematography for the first film. And so, man, Polly Morgan did a really good job replacing her.
Well, and so, hold on, I'm gonna kind of backdoor you on the cinematography. Like there were some amazing shots in this movie, like really, really great shots. One that stands out to me, of course, is like spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but when when they've made it to the island. And there's like that daybreak scene where he's speaking to his daughter, saying, you were right, I was wrong. And man, that shot is like really, really awesome. The shot when the young girl goes off by herself and is on the train, like that was a really nice, like many good like shots done in this. Like kudos. I can't compare it to the other movie again. Like I said, I'll probably watch that this afternoon. But for now, I gotta definitely say like the cinematography was a big win. Big win for this.
Oh, big time, man. Because I think like what John Krasinski does a good job of is like he makes sure that he has the characters at the forefront and drive the movie, even though there's destruction and terrors happening all around you.
Right.
Like I could just respect that he made sure that the characters were in a shot with the monsters as well, and he makes sure that the main characters don't lose focus in this movie. And so to me, that's very unique and it's different. And man, that bro, we got to talk about the acting too, man. The acting,
man, like so again, really like stellar job to my two youth actors who like pretty much carried the film. Like,
Millicent Simmons.
I was moved quite a bit by the both of them, man. Like
Millicent Simmons, Noah Wupe.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
They were definitely captivating to watch. Like
Cillian Murphy too, man.
Oh, it's funny when you talk about Cillian Murphy, you're talking about a man who's like everybody knows him. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows him from something.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dude who's phenomenal, but almost like always as a second man. You know what I'm saying? You usually get him as the second.
And a lot of Christopher Nolan movies for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We know him as the second man. We don't really think of him as the lead, and so it was cool to see him in the forefront. And hopefully we can get more of that. Like I'm hoping we'll get to see more of him at the forefront going forward. But
definitely.
Really, really good performances by them. I mean, Emily Blunt too. Like,
Emily Blunt, she does no wrong, basically.
Yeah, she's always good. She knows the assignment, and she does it well. Like,
let's talk about the camera choices too, man. So Krasinski, like I said, the way he shot this film and the way he decided to shoot it, I think was unique. Mm-hmm. And so they shot this movie with 35 millimeter film, and they used the Panavision Panaflex Millennium XL2 with the T-glass.
Say that 3 times fast. Okay.
Oh, my bad. Panavision Panaflex Millennium XL2 with the T-glass. So that's the camera that they used for this movie.
Okay, you ain't had to stunt. I was just playing. You had to say it. You had to say it a second time.
For the people out there, no, it's beautiful looking, man. And I'm glad that they're getting back into the Panavision Panaflex cameras.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's just like the camera angles that they use for this movie, man. Like the example in the car in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I like when they did that. Then when they're walking through the woods and they're giving you an above view, a side view, a behind view as they're walking. And then they give you like a focus on their steps when they're walking in rough terrain.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's just like you're hoping that they don't make a sound, but they really focus on their footsteps. And so just, man, it's just the camera angles really help build, the tension in this movie as well. Like if you think of what this movie is, at the end of the day, this movie is tension. This is real horror. This is suspense, and they did a good job of that. So,
you know what? Something else that I thought was really intriguing was the use. So going into a movie called A Quiet Place, I was expecting to go into almost like a silent movie, so to speak, which is part of the reason why I kind of didn't like. Why I was not super interested in the first. I was like, and not that I think silent movies are bad, they can be done well. I just was like, this wasn't just, it didn't feel like it was something I wanted to walk into. But the way that they played with sound throughout the movie, given that, there's a deaf character, I was like, oh, this is really neat. And you get the absence there of sound. And sometimes I feel like the scenes that had no sound whatsoever were more powerful than, the ones where I have some.
I was thinking about that. Because to me, being quiet to stay alive is just a genius idea for a horror film, man. Like that, it really is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, and both movies execute that very well. The first one and the second one. Like it's just that concept, man. Thinking about it, you're being quiet to stay alive. That's genius.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, and it was just the sound choices made like throughout there. I just thought big kudos. Big kudos
for sure.
It really moves and draws the tension through a little bit. So definitely there.
And I think about the communication as well. Like, so using sign language to communicate instead of having to rely on too much dialogue.
Yeah. No, I thought that was cool too, to have that at the forefront, that the majority of the language is being spoken like through the film is hand gestures and using sign language. I was like, this is legit. How often do you get to see that? And it's a theatrical experience that caters to those who don't usually get a chance to sit and hear like what's going on in there. So I thought that was pretty neat. That's pretty awesome.
Exactly. So man, we have to say so my bad, you were saying something.
Oh, no. I think I was about to say, oddly enough, I didn't have very many negatives about this film. Like
I was about to say the same, man.
I know, like anybody who knows me, that's probably rare, but at least on first watch, on my first watch so far, I don't see any problems with it. It's concise. Like it doesn't take too much of what it is. I guess if I had to throw one random one out there, we got our one black character. It follows that trope.
Oh
There's not
man,
that many people who died.
bro, I was just about to. Oh man,
With the
I
black
wasn't. I
guy.
wasn't even gonna count it as a negative. I just
It's
really thought it was
not.
funny.
I mean, it just was funny that the trope came back. I was like, oh dang, black dude gone.
Man, look, bro, he wasn't doing anything with that shotgun. That shotgun wasn't doing
Not
nothing.
at all. But I was like,
Come
that
on,
guy gets
man.
done. And then, of course, at the end of the film, same thing happens. We're like, another black dude. All right, redeem it. Nope, he was gone too. So I kind
Man,
of
my
just
boy,
figured,
what's his name, man? Jamon Hensu,
yes.
bro. Right. I felt like I was like, dang, that was quick. Like already?
I mean,
Dang.
he established, he had this nice little hub established, and then I gotta go back and save my no. What you gotta do is die. So,
Bro, man. Yeah, that was I was like, dang, they killed two brothers off quick, man.
yeah,
That was
I thought it was pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah,
It kind of
yeah. I
cracked
was
me
like,
up a little
dang.
bit.
I
But
figured somebody would have a complaint about that, but yeah, that's
no big complaint. I mean, it's a
yeah,
horror movie trope anyway, so I just took it
yeah.
as kind of funny. But
I thought that was
nonetheless,
funny too.
that was pretty legit. Like I thought it was a funny little thing to add.
For
So
sure, for sure.
the movie is legit. Like I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie.
definitely.
When it comes to ratings, that's a solid 9 for me.
A solid 9 for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a
I
solid
haven't
9 for me too, man. Like I give it the 93, 94% movie, man.
right.
I really don't have any negatives either, really. Like I like the way because the movie it picks off right where the first one ended. And so you automatically you jump straight into the action. The movie doesn't waste any time.
Yeah.
There's just really the beginning of the movie, you jump into the jump scares, you get the audio in and out, giving you the deaf person experience, and that was wonderfully done.
Yeah.
And man, like you said, yeah, the brother died in the beginning, but there was just a lot going on, and so you're really trying to figure out because in the first Quiet Place, they're at home, right? They're outside.
Okay.
And it's in like one setting, but this one is it's a whole new world. And so the first scene, they're just trying to, wow, it's just terror, it's destruction, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on in this world. And so as they start to get their bearings in this movie, the movie starts to pick up, man. But it doesn't waste any time. I love the way it is.
Yeah,
it's a very, very good movie. I highly recommend people go see this.
Go out to your theater and watch it.
Bro, do you have any favorite scenes in this movie specifically? Like any favorites?
Favorite scene? I think my favorite scene for me is the moment when the baby and the son are locked in the I don't even know what to call the tube that they're in, but they're locked in there and the oxygen is running out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, like the my head instantly went, oh no, don't do it. When he opens up the container where the baby's at, and he's like,
yeah,
looking at I'm like, man, he gonna kill off this baby? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of shook me for a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is whack. Like, I thought he's definitely finna do that. So I was tripping about that. That was a good scene. Real. And of course, like the connection between Gillen's character and I forgot her name for the moment, but when they meet on the train and they're having that discussion back and forth about you had the chance to save your wife, or you couldn't save your wife, but you have a chance to do something now. I thought that was pretty powerful too, to have it come from this young kid who's doing what they can to be helpful, while this grown person is not. And I thought that was very telling. How about you, man?
That's a good scene, man. So I like the last act of the film, man. But were they in the cafe? I can't tell where they were. I can't think at the moment. But I like when Millicent, when she was climbing over something to get to the other side.
When they were when they made it inside of the studio.
There's a studio. That's it.
Yeah.
So they're in a studio, and she's climbing over to the other side. She's carefully trying to put her foot down.
Yeah.
And then I like they're changing scenes. So you have that scene with them, and then it changes scenes to the monsters reaching in the hiding place, trying to grab Emily Blunt and the family.
Oh yeah.
That was like, whoo-wee, this is terror. And then I like when her and the brother, like they're able to tell that they're alive. Like he's able to tell that she's alive through the airwaves.
Yeah.
And they both end up killing the monsters at the same time. But then I guess this is my negative for the movie. It ends abruptly. And so I was like, okay, like it's over. Like, dang, this is actually like my favorite scene.
So it sounds like, and to me, I can get why that would be problematic, but I feel like he's just leaving the door open for another part. Like, when I started it and I was saying Quiet Place Part 2, I was like, there's more to this story. And I think that just kind of leaving it open-ended gives some hype that we can be sure to follow through with. So
no, it's good. I mean, I was just like, oh, dang, okay. Yeah. Because like you're into that scene and then it stops. I was like, oh,
it just fades. It's just gone.
And that was one of my favorite scenes. I was enjoying that but that's a good place to stop it though. Yeah. And that's what I say, man, that's actually better than continuing a movie for another 20 minutes and it losing momentum, right? And you thinking that you should have stopped the movie 20 minutes ago. Well, so I mean, it ended abruptly, but at the same time, that's still a smart idea.
Yeah, so. I mean, and not to mention in a time right now, while we've got especially in a time now where we're so used to having films build and set up for the other one, sometimes you build and set up for the next film. What you're building turns out to be at a disservice of the film itself. Yeah, like I think sometimes sometimes you got to say we done, click, cut it off.
Yeah, for sure.
And then tune in the next time. It's not necessary to set up what the next one is there for. So no, I agree with
that. Definitely. So y'all got our review of A Quiet Place 2.
For sure.
We both like it. We both give it A's. You give it A+, A-. Which one? A+, A-?
Yeah, definitely probably A+. Like I said,
this
based
is
on
A+.
my first watch, A+.
For sure.
I'll go back and I'm probably gonna watch it again. It was 10:20 on a long day, so maybe I just didn't have it in me to give it a bad vote. But it's definitely A+ right now. I don't think it'll drop even.
And think about it. You went to go see it at what, 10:20? It kept you awake. It kept you going.
This is true. I didn't.
And you had a long day.
So after a long day, I still was able to move. So
there you go.
Say A+.
Yes, sir. Let's
talk about it. This Cruella right quick though.
Cruella, man. Cruella. I was about to say, hit me with it. There we go.
Old school.
That's a good movie, man. So we'll talk about Cruella. So this movie is directed by Craig Gillespie. He's the same person that directed I, Tonya. And this is starring the two Emmas. You got Emma Stone, you got Emma Thompson. So I gotta say, it's Emma Thompson for me, man.
It's Emma Thompson for me. Let's just dig straight into the goods about this, because I mean, don't get me wrong. Emma Stone, like the double Emma feature right here was great. Like, both of them did really well. But yeah, Emma Thompson was on.
Emma Thompson stole the show.
She was on another level. Like, I was baffled many times in there. Like, she was just captivating, super captivating. That character was great.
And you and I usually talk about a movie for at least 5 minutes after we've seen it. You and I didn't discuss either one of these. So you like Cruella.
Yeah, y'all are getting this all cold, like all this like hot off the presses for y'all. Like,
this is hot off the press. I haven't talked to nobody
about it. Like, I actually probably I finished watching it probably a couple minutes before we started this. So I won't lie to you. I liked Cruella. It was good. It's
a very solid movie.
Yeah,
man.
Like
very solid. Very solid.
I won't lie. Like, the way it was pitched in the beginning, I was like, this don't seem like the style for Disney. Not that the villain take, but it was just this was not just because it's about kind of fashion-esque, but it was definitely kind of Devil Wears Prada kind of vibes.
Yes, sir. Devil Wears Prada vibes. Absolutely.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like a Disney film, but they did a good job in this style. Like, I'm like, I could watch some more films of this, of this genre.
Now, hold on. Let me tell you, man. Now, first of all, what you should be saying is, hey, appreciate you, Kevin, because at first you weren't really interested in talking about this. Let's be honest now.
Oh, no. Yeah, I definitely wasn't.
Let's be honest, because I was like, because when I saw the previews for Cruella, I was like, oh, I'm excited for this one. Like, I like Emma Stone, and I like Cruella DeVille as a villain for Disney, right? And 101 Dalmatians I love the 1961 animated version. Like, I love that movie. So, I was just really excited for this. I like Glenn Close. Like, she did a really good job playing the live action 101 and 102 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
And so
I thought she did great. She
did great as Cruella. The movie itself, like it being the first live action Disney movie, it wasn't great, but I don't think critics should have dogged it the way they did.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I watched that one at least 101 not too long ago. And I was like, I thought it was fine. Like I watched it before watching I watched it earlier this week before watching Cruella, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it was a movie aimed for kids and made in what, late 90s, 2000s. So I'm like, give it a break a little bit. Give it a break for what it was. Now I won't lie, I did not think about doing an episode for Cruella. I saw it and I was like, I will probably.
I knew immediately, man. I said, "Hey, we got to do it. Got to do it."
Like, we will probably watch. I will watch this movie. I don't need to talk about it. I just didn't. Like I said, the stylistic choices. I was like, I don't think this is going to be as great coming through a Disney lens as it turned out to be.
Yeah. This was a dark movie too, man, for a Disney film.
I think it said
this is a solid origin story. We all knew Cruella de Vil was evil in a way, but this movie ends up humanizing her, and you end up gaining a understanding of the lady who wants to use Dalmatian fur for coats. And this movie takes place in London in the 70s with the soundtrack from the 70s. Let's talk about that for a second.
So the
soundtrack, man, was fire.
Like
you have a solid 30 songs in this movie.
What
that are off the chain. Like that's a lot of songs for a movie. Okay.
Like there's, and I think in the first like hour I was like, well, god dang, like y'all just running like a playlist in the back, just keeping that bad boy spinning. Like
and that's cool too, man. And I kind of, so that's a positive and it's kind of a negative too. And the only reason why I say I'm going to give that a negative too, and I'm of course we're staying on the positive, is my negative view list is very small. But the reason why that can fall into a negative is because it's sometimes when you keep playing songs over and over like that, sometimes you just have to let the movie speak for itself instead of the soundtrack, right? And sometimes I feel like they use the soundtrack to drive the movie, and it's like, this is a good story. You don't have to, have a banger for every single scene, right?
So I'm totally with you. I'm 100% like I was actually surprised you brought up that point. That was a point that I was adamant about after the first hour of the movie. I was like, are you trying to cover up your shortcomings by having us jam? You know what I mean? For a minute, letting us jam. Like, what are you trying to, I kept feeling like I'm supposed to be looking for, where's the mistake? Like, you know what I mean? It felt like watching a magic show. They misdirection with the music here. And not saying that there was one, it just felt that way. So I agreed. I was like, one of its biggest strengths in the soundtrack is also its weakness, in the sense that it's just, at times it feels like there's just too much. Every scene you're
too much.
Another song here for me to like, not even, I think what I would have possibly done is found one song to kind of hook into and maybe let that one recur. You know what I mean? Like being a recurring theme. Maybe it wouldn't have felt like it was so much going on.
I mean, you end up understanding they mentioned in the movie it's the 70s, and then you're playing 70s songs, so we get it. It's just you don't have to keep hitting us with heavy bangers throughout the whole.
Like I said, because like then you pull away from or like you were saying, you pull away from the story. Then like all of a sudden
you pull away from the story. You do.
Right now I'm kind of more focused on this is hitting, like at least me being a super, like, and I know you being a music guy as well, like we talk music stuff on a regular as well, but like, and then it can be a little distracting.
Definitely
other good pieces though, costume and wardrobe. And wardrobe
for sure, definitely
good. I cannot say that enough. I wasn't sure at times whether I was watching Cruella the movie or Project Runway or this, what I'm saying? Like, it was stylish.
Everybody looks stunning, man, for sure.
It had
definitely
like it's costume and wardrobe really set for the style. And that was my other just big plus is the style of the film overall. But that I think a lot of that is set by the costume and wardrobe department. And not even just that, the settings too, like where they chose to shoot certain scenes or how they set that up. It was it's just really, really good. Really good.
It's really good. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to talk about kind of the dark themes in this movie. Like, so there's certain things that it's like, oh wow, like, because this is a PG-13 Disney movie, right? And so remember the scene where she's drinking and she kind of passes out at the store after hours.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like, so they took some risks with this movie, and I like that. Like, they made it something where kids will enjoy it, but adults are definitely going to enjoy this movie. Like, I enjoy it. You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of our peers are going to enjoy it. They didn't mind getting a little bit more mature with the movie, which was cool. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I think they catered to this movie is catered more toward an older audience. I mean, heck, for crying out loud, they even reference the idea of killing off a child, like killing off a newborn kid. I was like, oh, dang, like, that was a little much. So that, I think they definitely play with some dark ideas here. You know what I'm saying? Also contrasted a little bit as well. The idea, like, with, as Disney does, they can give you something dark a little bit, but they can also contrast it well. Like the idea of family gets played with a lot in this, right?
Yeah, big time.
She's going through a huge kind of identity crisis of family here. She's got family in Jasper and Horace, who she's kind of grown up with. She's got family in her mom, as well as technically in the Baroness as well. So it's like you play with this idea, but you see some negative views of family, but also you get, some reassuring that happens amongst that. So
yeah, for sure. Man, let's talk about that. This is kind of a heist movie as well, man. I like how they add that to the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say storyline is neat. Yeah, with that.
Yeah. Like, it's, she starts off kind of petty thief at a young age with the guys, and then they progress into heavier theft as the movie progresses. So I like how they build that up, man. I also like just the I like how they incorporated the Dalmatians as well, them knocking off her mom off the cliff.
I'm telling you,
due to the Baroness whistling, giving the signal.
You read my mind. You legit read my mind tonight. Like, I was like, it kind of puts in perspective outside of just the idea that, oh, spots. Like when you watch the old one, there's no real motive other than I like spots. I'm like, I mean, as an adult now, I'm like, yo, that doesn't mean that you should just go bashing Dalmatians over the head. Like, you can make spots can be made out of it. You can make faux spots and fur, like, but
it gives you this is a good origin story to give you that perspective.
And not to mention, like, it was cool how they juxtaposed the Dalmatians into being villains. Like, Cruella isn't the villain. Like, every time we see those Dalmatians, generally they are snarling, they're mean, this, that, and the other. They technically are the reason why she is in a sense, they are the way she is what she is, and it's crazy.
It's interesting. That actually can be counted towards a negative too, though, bro. I'm not saying it is, but it could be looked at negatively because.
How so? Keep going.
Because it's almost like you're rebranding Cruella in a way. And the reason why I say that is because she's not evil in this movie at all, in my opinion. I don't see any evil in her. I see her acting out, but I don't see evil. So it kind of reminds me of when you take the evil queen from Snow White and you turn her into Maleficent. And Maleficent is not evil, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a rebranding thing. I think Disney does that sometimes. Well, and I don't know if that could be counted as negative, man, because there's going to be oh, go ahead.
No. I'm saying I agree. Like, I mean, I could see that being a negative. For me, it doesn't ding, but I could understand that, like, because you've now you've made her more human. You've humanized her.
Yeah. In
a sense to where now people might decide that, oh, well, maybe she wasn't that bad after all.
Right.
And that's fair. To play devil's advocate here, though, maybe they're trying to tell us a little something more important. Most of the people that we think might be bad folks may have other, everything stems from somewhere, and that's what they may be trying to show us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like how they did it. It's just that I definitely see that being a negative for people. Especially if you're watching this movie in hopes of her being crazy and evil and this and this and that. I mean, but you got to build it. And I think the way that they left the ending, if you watch it all the way to the credits, kind of like the Marvel. You watch the credits and then you wait a little bit and then they'll show you how they're going to build the story. They end up showing you Roger and Anita and Pongo. And so it's like it sets it up for the sequel. And it's like, now we're setting it up and we're going to see the other side of Cruella that we're used to from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
That's what I think we're getting to. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
It wouldn't be a bad rebrand, like to go ahead and, restart it a little bit or to kind of reboot the situation. Yeah. And then we may be able to look at it a little differently. Maybe by the next one, we start to get more of the crazed Cruella that we were looking for before. I did think it was nice how they dropped nods to Anita and Roger and stuff like that in the film. However, they didn't make things revolve. Like sometimes you can get too caught up in your source material.
That is a positive, yes.
That, every once in a while you're like, oh, well, we need to hook them into it because that's the stuff that made people initially watch. And that's what they're connected.
Yes.
No, we get like Anita's like introduced in grade school and it's just like, hey, what's up? And then she pops up at other periods, but that was it. Same with like when Roger came out, I was like, oh, okay, Roger.
Yeah.
We don't see him that often. Like he so like I thought that was really cool.
That was good. That was good. Man, hold on. You know what else would forgive me? You got to give a shout out to Disney for adding their first gay character to this to their film.
So wait
this is the first gay character, Artie. That's the first gay character that they have had in a Disney movie. So shout out to them for doing that.
So I didn't know that. I thought I thought that they had aimed to make LeFou in Beauty of the Beast gay, but maybe not openly so. So that's different. No. Shout out for the diversity. If that, I didn't realize that because I thought I kept thinking it was before that they had done it in Beauty and the Beast, but no, I didn't know. I didn't realize that. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, they actually confirmed that this is a gay character, and he already had a decent amount of screen time, and I think it's looking like he's going to have a bigger role in the sequel, just based on how they ended the movie, and how things ended up. It seems like he'll have an even bigger role, but he was funny, so he's an enjoyable character.
He was funny with his screen times. So shout out for that. I will say one other negative, and I know we kind of been all over the place with the positive negatives, but I will say one other negative that I had though. Runtime seemed a little long to me.
Oh man, I wanted to mention that too. Yes,
the runtime. I felt like there was definitely some places where we could have trimmed, and I don't think it would have lost any. Like I don't think it would have caused the film to lose anything. Only gain some traction of one, the time being shorter, the runtime being a little shorter, but also it would gain because there would have been less proof. You know what I mean? It's just to the point. But again, this is another one that sits kind of high on my list. Like there's not much. Those little things I mentioned. Runtime.
Yeah, like as far as the movie being too long, and as far as me nitpicking about the soundtrack just being a little bit too much. Other than that, man, I mean, it's a good movie. What are you rating it? What are you giving it?
I'm gonna put it at. I would easily put this at probably a 8.5. 8.5.
Oh man, dude, we reading each other's minds tonight, man.
I'm saying we are on a wavelength right now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say this is an 85% movie. I don't think I would give it an A, but maybe if I watch it again, maybe I'll change my mind. But for sure, it's an 85% movie. It's a B for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say
B plus.
Coming straight off of it, I have to say 8.5. And I guess for me, a lot of it has more to do with that music piece than you would think. Like I can't tell you how often I was more focused on the song playing than I was what's happening around. But this has got a lot of pluses. I'm sure if I sit down and watch it again, I think even at the highest, I would bump it as maybe to an 8.7. Like maybe it'll get like.
I don't think I can give it an A though. Not an A.
I don't think so.
But just because I don't give it an A doesn't mean it's not a great movie. It's a really good movie, man. It's got me wanting to rethink my list of Disney movies of what I got ranked. I got to put it up higher. This is dope. This is a good movie for sure.
I mean,
everybody check it out. for parents out there that are sensitive to wanting their kids to watch certain things, you might have to watch it yourself, maybe, and then see.
Maybe watch that one first. It just got
watch it first, and then you'll decide and see if you want your kids to see it or not. But it's a good film. It's a good family film. It's good for adults, men, women, teenagers. Everybody's gonna like this movie. So check it out. I definitely recommend it. Isaiah recommends it. For sure. Thumbs up from us.
But tell us what you think. Tell us, put it in the comments. Tell us if we are correct about Quiet Place. If you think that it was as good as we did, put that down there. If you think that we are out of our minds and it wasn't as good, if you just mad at me because I didn't see the first one before, you can put that in the comments too. My bad. Tell us how you feel about Cruella.
If he's just hopping on the bandwagon, let him know.
Ooh, all right. You ain't got to call me no bandwagon fan, but I got you. Hey, we love to hear from you. By all means, please click subscribe on the page. We put out videos pretty consistently talking about these similar things and other movies out there. So please like us, subscribe, and also look for our Instagram page as well. But this is Isaiah, this is Kevin signing off. I'll take it easy.